So we're recording.
All right.
We are.
All right.
That was
Sounds
amazing.
What kind of sound was that, Andy? I've never heard a sound like that. Come on.
It came out of your face. I don't know.
what you're talking about.
Yeah. It's a chicken parm noise. So for our listeners who this is their first podcast, I'm sorry.
You're really recording, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Awesome.
Welcome to Bar Talk, everybody.
Welcome to Bar Talk. I am your surrogate host, I guess. Andy, Carl, and Jordan were not able to be here. We were here with Dan Mahoney, of course.
What's up?
Who's now, I think, like the longest.
Now
I think
it's my podcast.
We're gonna have to like add up and figure out who's
Right.
been on more. I feel like Dan's got to be like at least tied.
Dan so far has done just over half.
Really?
Yeah, and the rest I haven't counted yet.
So I feel like Carl's probably your closest.
He's going
one.
down the
Yeah.
ranks.
So, well, Carl's probably the second. Jordan's the one who's like going down the ranks. So, calling you out,
I
Jordan.
don't know. I feel like
Dan's calling
they
you out,
both
Jordan.
missed a lot.
Yeah? I'll take his spot.
And we're here. That other voice you hear is Mike Wisdom, chef extraordinaire of the Tasty.
How we doing?
He was on our last episode where we talked about farm to table and somehow turned that into a weed conversation. But those things happen.
Somehow.
Comes from farms.
Mm-hmm.
So
Sometimes you break it up on a table.
Yeah.
That's
full
true.
circle.
That's
full
right.
circle.
Yeah.
You know?
So we're going to do a Q&A episode today where we address your questions that you have sent us. And I guess we'll just jump right into it. This one comes from Brianna. See, Mike, just for a brief history, this is where I attempt to read people's names.
Oh, that's
Okay.
great. He
Yeah.
has like a
This
really
is
hard
gonna
time
be
with
fun.
normal names. He can drop some fucking crazy, like, unheard of one with no problem.
So this one is from Brianna Megalegs Smith.
Oh, wow.
All right.
Okay.
And it says, how cold is your ice? What is the craziest question you've had to answer for a customer?
Oh, wow.
I'm assuming the how is cold is your ice was the question.
Okay,
Yeah.
I was going to say, because one, I have no fucking
Yeah.
idea.
Let me go check the ice thermometer.
You mean, being in the kitchen, you have to get some ridiculous questions. Like,
So
The worst is they probably have to go through the filter of
this
the
was
wait staff
Yeah,
first.
so this wasn't really a question, but it's funny. It happened last week. Somebody came in, they wanted the buffalo wings, and they said, I'm allergic to sauce. So I went out and I'm like, so that's a very general term. What kind of
What kind of
ingredient?
sauce?
Yeah.
Just sauce in general. And I'm like, so butter can be a sauce, marinara sauce, like
cream.
so yeah, things like that. You get some crazy
being allergic to sauce. So what was their answer?
she was very just general about it. I can't have sauce. So I just didn't put sauce on their wings, whatever. But it kind of just blew my mind.
Were they then like, man, these wings are dry? Like,
no, they just looked weird. They
Yeah.
just fried wings with blue cheese on top. So.
that's really
Very
is it
bizarre.
blue cheese a sauce?
It was a crumble.
I got you. I thought you meant
yeah.
dressing.
No,
yeah. I feel like that's very much like is a hot dog a sandwich.
I love that question.
What about his...
So my kids asked me that question.
What was your answer?
How do you define sandwich?
A sandwich, by definition, is a piece of bread with meat.
Right.
So
Then
a hot dog bun is a piece of bread that's
Right.
that's
With meat.
for a hot dog.
Yep.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
a sandwich.
Yep.
Right? Fish?
Isn't it more of a taco?
A taco
No,
sandwich?
a taco is on a tortilla.
True.
It's not a piece
That's
of
fair.
bread.
What about an open-faced turkey sandwich? That's still a sandwich. A submarine sandwich. That's a type of sandwich.
That's fair. So really, a
See,
hot
my
dog
argument
is
was
a
it all
sub.
depends on your definition of sandwich.
A hot dog
is a sub.
is kind of sub,
It's
I
a
guess.
sub.
Yeah.
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 Yep.
A sub sandwich.
There we go.
Yeah.
Sub is short for submarine sandwich.
Look at that. We just solved
Yeah.
one of life's greatest
You're welcome.
questions
All right,
there.
you're welcome.
Let's
America.
let's solve the economy next.
That's fine.
Back to what we were actually talking about.
What were we talking about?
Crazy question.
Dumbest
Yeah.
question you've ever been
Oh,
asked.
man. I'm trying to think. The dumbest question I ever got asked, someone called me on the phone when I was working at the British Beer Company, and they said, hey, how far are you from me? And that was it. I sat there
What?
and waited, and nothing, and I was like, I don't know where you are. Like, I don't have a computer GPS tracking this phone call. Like, where are you? And then they told me, I was like, yeah, you're like 2 hours away from us.
Oh Jesus!
They were
So
down, they were down like deep down the Cape, but they called
wow.
the Plymouth location.
Did
you
they
to
think
call,
they were
like,
calling
Hyannis
another
or something
location,
like
or-
that? But the fact it doesn't even matter. It's the fact they just thought I knew where they were.
Yeah.
So that's probably
Yeah.
one of the dumbest questions I've ever asked.
See, I'm such a
That's
dick. I
hilarious.
would have been like, "Oh, you're right around the corner." See you in 5.
5 minutes away. Take that.
Yeah,
first
you would
left.
do that. You would do
Yeah,
that.
I would.
So
not
was
a nice
it the
person.
worst question that you've gotten from like a customer? Or?
Yeah, what's the
I think
dumbest
anyone,
question? Yeah.
Customer.
I've had an employee
Coworker.
ask me for a banana straightener. So he had just started, and one of the cooks was like, "Hey, just go upstairs and ask them for the banana straightener." And we had 2 kitchens, and we literally sent the kid around for like an hour.
That's awesome.
And he's like, "Do you guys know where the banana straightener is?" We're like, "No, I think blah 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 had it last." You know?
Yeah.
Just like the good old
How
go find a
pissed-
glass
how-
magnet.
How pissed was he when he figured it out?
He was not happy. He actually put bologna on my car that night. I made him clean my car though. It was all rectified very
Yeah.
quickly. Yeah,
That's pretty great,
Yeah.
though.
kid had balls. I'll give him that.
I remember, I think it was like one of our first episodes, Jimmy Agnew, was a similar question, like, what's the dumbest thing you've heard at work? And we are from Plymouth, so there's an ocean outside, and one of the waitresses is like, is that the Pacific or the Atlantic? Now, I may be misquoting that, but not much.
I'm not even surprised.
Oh, it's the Indian Ocean.
Yeah.
The Dead Sea's right there. That's what the Pilgrims came over
I
on.
wonder how hard it would be to convince her if it was a pond.
I mean,
Probably
Be
not
like,
that hard.
be like, it's Long
Yeah.
Pond.
If
Long
you
Pond
don't know.
Road is right there.
it's called Water
Practically
Street
comes
for a
right to,
reason.
yeah. All right. Cassandra Siegelstein? Siegelstein?
I like Siegelstein.
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 Yeah, we're gonna go
All
with
right, we're near
Siegelstein.
the ocean. Siegelstein.
Yeah.
What do most restaurants do about food poisoning? Have you guys ever experienced food poisoning in a restaurant you worked in?
I've
Obviously
gotten
not the
it
ones
from
you're-
somewhere I've not worked at, but I've never worked somewhere where someone's gotten it.
So yeah, I've actually never worked anywhere where somebody got it. There was one lady who would call me saying that her husband got sick off the mussels, and she kind of started yelling at me. But I also had cleaned those mussels that day, and I made those mussels, so I knew that that wasn't what made her sick. She ended up hanging up on me and yelling at me and stuff. But there's always something that could contribute to people getting sick. So, I've had people call and they're like, I got sick at your restaurant. I'm like, okay, when did you eat? 2 hours ago. I'm like, well, it wasn't me.
Yeah.
Because that actually takes more than that to set in.
And that's
So
the
if you
thing. I
think
feel
about-
like people. I've heard so many people like, "Oh, I got food poisoning there." I'm like, "Well,
Are you
how,
sure you
How
did?
do you know?"
Yeah.
Like, how
and then you kind
like,
of taint the name of that restaurant.
Right.
Yeah.
People don't take into account, okay, you had 16 Red Bulls and vodkas last night.
right,
Maybe that's why you were throwing up.
or be like, "Oh, I was hanging out with my cousin from like 6 towns over, and he's
Yeah.
sick too. Did he
Yeah.
eat there? No, but he
Or-
happens to be sick too. But I'm sure that's unrelated."
Or, you ate Andy's chicken parm, and that made you sick.
Listen,
You know?
everybody likes their chicken a little pink on the inside.
Oh, my God. It's chicken tartare.
Like my chicken rare.
Don't be such a wuss and just eat it.
Yeah, I think it all depends on the situation, how you have to handle it,
Yeah,
But if it's a serious thing, you obviously have to
I feel
go
like
through the right standards.
I feel like if it was serious, it wouldn't be one person. I
No,
feel like
exactly.
Yeah. And that's
it'd be
the thing.
multiple people.
Yeah,
It's not gonna be like one dude that's like, "Oh, I felt a little shitty."
exactly.
And I feel like, like I said, it's anything. You could just catch a stomach bug earlier in the day. And that's so.
I mean, that's
unless like you're walking into a suspect place and it's hey, that's your own goddamn fault.
Exactly.
But,
that's true. I've been in some places where I'm like, I don't know if I want to eat here.
yeah,
And you eat there anyway.
Yeah,
It's
pretty much.
delicious,
I usually work out all right.
Yeah.
exactly. So
All right. Next question is from Taylor Cross. Can your job schedule you outside your availability? I'm gonna jump into this one. Not like I've worked in a lot of restaurants, but some of that kind of comes down to you
Yeah.
and telling your job politely,
Your standards
respectfully,
and your
no,
schedule.
yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
Like we had a set agreement,
Exactly.
and this is what I can work, and I can't do that. If you do it, I feel like if you do it like adult, and again, not everyone's gonna be an adult, but I feel like if you just be like, that's outside of what I told you I can work.
yeah, as long, especially if it's a new job, as long as you're up front and like I can't work this day of the week.
Right.
Now, if you're saying you can't work the weekends because you just don't want to, I think
Yeah.
it's a different
Yeah,
thing. But
th-
most
exactly.
places aren't going to hire you if that you have no weekend availability or
Yeah, what's the point?
that. So,
Right.
but I mean, I feel like worked a job where I've gotten scheduled outside. So
It's gonna happen. Is the
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
So it shouldn't be a thing, but it's bound to happen. I've missed like my cousin's wedding and stuff because somebody called out.
Yeah.
And I'm like, hey, I have a wedding to go to, but I'm at the restaurant right now. Cool.
And I think it depends on how you play it too.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
you can go to your manager or whatever and be like, listen, this is outside of what I normally can do. I can do it today.
It also depends on what kind of employee you are, too, though.
That's true,
So
too.
if you're a solid employee and you're like, hey, man, I come in when you asked me to come in early.
Right.
I worked on this day. I need this day off,
Right.
As opposed to the dude that calls out or, I went out and got wasted last night. I came in a little late because, I was hungover. I don't really care. That guy.
Then they may just be looking to get rid of you.
Yeah, listen, either we're going to fire you or, we're going to make you quit by scheduling you outside of your availability.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's the polite way of not
playing the game.
Polite way of not scheduling you.
Yep.
The mistake people make sometimes is they think their availability is their normal schedule they make. That's not it. If you don't have it in writing that your availability is a certain thing, your job can schedule whenever the hell you want.
Exactly.
That's also true, yeah.
Make sure if you have something you can't work, you write down your whole availability on paper so they have it, and then you're like, well, listen, buddy, I wrote it down. And just don't wait till the day before to say, I can't
Right.
work.
As soon as you see it, address it.
It's all about documenting it. Yeah,
Well,
I'll
most
take a
places
picture
are pretty
of the
good about
date,
giving you your schedule at least a week in advance. So just don't wait till like the day before your shift to figure out when you work in the next day.
I don't even have a schedule.
And if your manager is cool, sometimes
Right.
just suck
Just
it
kinda
up.
work
And
that.
Off Mondays and Tuesdays, and every other day I'll be there.
Yep.
Okay, cool.
we get it, man. You work a lot. I get it.
I don't work that much. No,
Yeah, we know.
I'm here right now.
You're at work a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. This is Jonathan Cruz. Says, hello, server here. Question for you all.
Here we go.
Can
I'm
I
sorry,
be a good bartender even if I don't drink?
Well, I would say not drinking. You probably not, because that was a really weird way to introduce yourself to someone. And a big part of the job of bartending is talking. So,
You're too awkward to be a bartender.
yeah.
Maybe you should be a cook.
But I mean, you don't have to drink to be a bartender. It
Sam
helps.
Malone didn't.
Who?
Sam Malone.
Oh yeah.
Cheers.
Yep.
Jesus.
So it's tough, though, because you want to, obviously, if you're making new things, though, you want to taste what you're making.
Exactly.
So in that aspect, you can't taste anything that you're making.
Right.
But I think if you know your ratios and you know what you're doing,
Yeah.
I feel like at some point, I feel like you can make it.
You
As
can,
a bartender.
you can fake it. Like, don't if I come ask you like, hey, what do you think of this beer? Don't be like, oh, I don't know, I don't drink. Don't play that card. Just say lie.
Yeah. I
You
just
tell 'em-
lie.
Just lie.
Exactly,
Because
You can be like, I don't drink dark beers because
Because
Yeah,
it's summer.
summertime.
it's summertime.
See, I
Summertime,
just broke
so-
our own, the only rule.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't. I'm like,
Like
don't
you-
make callback jokes, and I just did it.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
hopefully
sorry.
this one comes out on June 4th. There we go. There's 2 in a row for you. But yeah, like if you're a good bartender, even without drinking it, if you don't like it, you should be able to tell people about stuff. So
Exactly.
that's
I agree
your.
with that.
You don't need to drink. Instead, it helps. I mean, it helps when you want to murder people and you want to going home and help them drink helps after that. So,
Yeah.
so.
It's very
But
true.
But I feel like it helps to listen more than anything else, because like if you're listening to what your customers be like, oh well, Steve drinks, this kind of beer and rum and cokes and that kind of beer, and someone comes in and be like, well, I like this kind of beer. What I like, you can kind of even use someone else's taste preferences
exactly.
to kind of
Yeah.
steer that Because
Like,
to me, that would be the hardest thing. Be like,
you're gonna
I
have to
don't know.
work a lot harder to be good at your job.
Yeah.
No, exactly.
Let's say that, because you're gonna actually have to do homework, and not the fun way like we do it.
Right.
I've run into that, though, with servers that are 20 or 19.
Exactly.
But they actually care, so, they're trying to figure out about these beers. Not Obviously, they're probably drinking anyway. But, they're not like,
Wow,
oh,
way
I'm
to
not-
encourage our listeners to drink there.
Anyway.
This is called bar talk, Andy.
Yeah, but yeah, it's definitely tough. Like you said, you're gonna have to work harder at it. I just keep saying so.
Just
Nah,
make-
see,
Edit that out. Fish.
Fish made you super
He
self-conscious.
did. That's all I can think about now.
Yeah. After a while, you stop caring what he says,
Okay.
because that's what
Awesome.
I did.
Awesome.
you'll learn that as Carl's replacement.
Nice. I'll be here every week. Awesome. Let's go.
All right. This is from Alicia Flores. Hey guys, anyone know how I can learn about craft beer or just beer in general? I don't drink. That's another non-drinker. But I want to learn because some places won't hire me due to my lack of knowledge. So specifically beer, like, how do you explain to someone who doesn't drink, like, what hoppy is?
So there's this thing called Google.
Is that new?
I just kind of sounded like a dick, but I mean, so when you don't know how to do something, like my first
Holy
head
shit, he is
job-
going to replace Carl.
You're welcome, Carl. Like everybody has a computer on their phone in their pocket. So if you don't know something, you could always just Google it and kind of figure it out from there. Like you said, you're gonna have to work harder.
Yeah.
But if you have work ethic,
the great thing about this day and age is craft beer is everywhere. So it's so easy. Like every beer, you pull up a can, it tells you what the tasting notes are and stuff. So, like I said, do a little research. There's so many magazines. There's fucking websites. There's TV shows. I mean, go to a beer fest even if you don't drink. They're hilarious to watch drunk people sit down like in the middle of the fucking floor because they can't stand up anymore. And a lot of those places, you'll get a cheaper ticket because you're the designated driver ticket. So
I was just going to say, you might be able to make some money, you know, Ubering
exactly,
people home. Who knows?
Yeah.
You know?
And I feel like almost every bar now, if you're like, oh, can I taste that? They'll give you like a little, a sip.
Yeah.
You know? And
I don't think you can rely on that though.
No?
Yeah.
Because you should be one. You're gonna if you're just giving samples for everything, you're gonna fucking hate your life running back and forth to the taps.
Yeah.
And then that person's gonna get a Bud Light from you, and those are the worst people. in the universe.
Can I have a glass for this?
Yeah. Can you ice down this beer for me
Yeah.
and put some salt in it? But you should. Definitely that's a useful tactic.
Yeah.
But I said I'll give you the trick. You don't like I said. You don't have to know. It's just how you come off of that you do know.
Exactly.
Learn certain key phrases like bitterness, a name of a fucking fruit flavor, and just say to
Like
me,
mango kombucha.
Ooh.
goddamn right, yeah,
Right.
Like know that
You sound like you know what you're talking about.
I
the
know.
terms hazy, unfiltered, filtered, and that's it. Then you're good to go. You can fake your way through anything.
Well,
Yeah.
So I'm going to tell you an unrelated story that kind of like relates to that. Is one of my first full-time jobs. I ran one of Stop and Shop's first gas stations because they're kind of everywhere now.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And so
You
there was
taste the gas and tell the tasting
no,
notes?
but there was.
sounds
It's
awesome.
all about
Yeah.
being confident in your delivery. And this little old lady stopped me, and she was complaining about the gas odor coming from the gas because there was a lot of like pushback about this whole gas station thing. And she's like, I smell gas fumes, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, that's impossible. We have a triple redundant vapor recovery system. I don't know what that is, but I heard it in training, and I delivered it so fast, and it kind of like, the woman was like, oh, maybe it's the gas station across the street. I'm like, yeah, that's probably it.
Definitely those assholes.
And
will
it's
get a
just-
double.
I've heard of that, so I know that if you have that,
Yeah, and
you're
it's
doing
just
a
one
good
of those,
job.
like, if you have that kind of phrase in your pocket that you can rattle
That's it.
off, that
It's
people
true.
are like, oh, shit, okay, they clearly know what they're talking about.
Or, you know, now it's 2019, they could just Google it and find out that you're
Yeah.
lying.
Well,
I'm sorry.
first of all, she was like 90, if she could Google it all.
That's
Well,
true.
that's the key thing with tasting beer is you just say to me it tastes like this because you don't know what I taste.
Sure.
Yep,
So-
that's your perspective.
Exactly.
You know?
You're
Everybody's
never
gonna taste
wrong
it different.
if you say it to me,
To
in my
me.
opinion.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you can just learn your key phrases and you can fake it till you make it.
All right. Shannon Smith. Worst notes someone left you on a receipt. I won't post. Oh, jeez. I won't post a picture of mine, but someone decided to let me know the ending of the new Avengers movie on their receipt the
God.
day it came out.
What a bad person.
I would hunt them down and kill them. Like, I kind of even knew some things in the ending just because of common sense, but that's a super douche move.
I feel like there's not
why would
really
you even
anything to
do
one
that?
up that though. Like she
Yeah.
kinda, she kind of already won.
Tell you how Game of Thrones ends.
Yeah.
But like, why would you even do that as a customer? Like, I don't. It's just like,
They were drunk and they thought it was funny, maybe.
Yeah.
And there's some people in this world that just want to see it burn.
yeah.
Exactly.
But have you gotten weird notes?
Not like that.
Well, I'm sure Mike doesn't get them because
I get all kinds of weird notes, you know.
but
just-
from his fucking coworker.
they're like, hey, could you please put your shirt back on?
gets-
Things like that. You
He gets
know?
messages written Maloney in his
Yeah.
car.
I'm not telling you what.
I've never had anything too bad. Like, I think I've had friends that drew crude pictures on him and stuff. Like, oh, let me throw this fucking
Oh, like
paper
a
out
penis,
before.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
They've had
That's what
some
he was
dicks
getting
drawn out. Yeah,
Who's it? Actually, I'm not going to name him because I don't know if this is like a real issue. But you get all the, Square registers now, where they're like, "Oh, sign your name," and a person we know draws like penises and smiley faces and.
That's pretty awesome. yeah, is it you? He's kind of
It's
looking
not-
at
no,
you.
No, it's not him.
I mean,
I don't just
I
know
may
you
have
know.
signed an invoice before for one of those, but I have not
I like it.
signed some.
Because the signature is really pointless.
Yeah.
Unless there's a, contention of whether you actually sign or not, and then you're going to be in court and be like, "Did you draw this penis?" And be like,
Yeah.
"Yeah, I totally
My
did."
fuck-
You know what? That looks like a penis that I draw. So.
I'm pretty sure my signature is different every time. So.
Yeah, depends on how busy I am. You know,
Yeah.
I'm like, hey,
I
here's
just
a
stopped
scribble.
signing my name. Like now, I just sign Andy. Like I don't have a I'm like,
Do you write it
I'm
like the
Prince.
like the Toy Story, like on the
And
bottom
you're
of
like
his
Cher.
foot?
No, that's legible.
Okay.
Yeah.
all right,
Too
that
much
makes
makeup?
sense. Andy has too much makeup on?
Why do I have
That's
to-
why he's like, share.
I have to look good for the podcast.
I heard you had a face for radio.
You heard that through the podcast? Wow. Okay, this one comes from Elvis Duran. I'm guessing Elvis is from the South.
Awesome.
Either I hope he loves Elvis and Duran Duran. So
Oh, yeah. Would you rather be fired on text message or face-to-face?
depends where I live to where my job is. Like, if I'm driving an hour to work, fucking fire me on text message.
Yeah, exactly.
But if I probably just want to be fired on text message. I don't give a shit.
yeah, if you're getting fired, you probably
Yeah.
don't want it to be face-to-face, I guess, because you probably fucked up. So
Yeah.
Would you rather be fired at the beginning of your shift? Like, show up for work and
Yeah,
then be like,
beginning.
go home.
Totally.
At the end of your shift or, like, in the middle?
Middle or beginning, I feel like you just really let me work that whole shift, and like you knew you were firing me.
Right.
I've actually never been fired somehow because I quit before I get fired. Yeah, I feel like if you work the whole shift and they knew they were going to fire you, I feel like that's a little more messed up than
Yeah.
You know?
I just feel like if you get fired and it's a surprise, you're clearly not paying attention.
Exactly. Most people
Yeah.
kind of know that it's coming, I feel like.
Right.
And if you don't, then that's probably why you're getting
Fired, right?
Yep.
Is
You know.
yeah.
So, and as a follow-up,
Who is this?
Hi, Fish.
Fish
Hi,
is
Mike.
firing you through on the podcast.
no, I can't replace
Text
him.
me.
Well, that's the thing. If I know at least two of you have been the boss before. When you fire people, do you do it via text or do you want to do it face to face?
I've never fired anyone.
Do you
via text.
want a
Yeah, me neither.
paper trail?
Well, that's it. I don't think anything important you should never do through text message.
I agree. Because that can
I
really screw you.
see.
Yeah.
I'll say a couple things. One, I was kind of this weird middle management thing where I could hire people, but I couldn't fire people.
Been there, yeah.
So my boss would have to come in to fire them. There had to be like a series of like paper. There had to be like a serious amount of paper trail even to get to that point, which was a fucking pain in the ass because it's like the most incompetent people. You're like, why are they still here?
Yep.
Um,
Sounds like a restaurant.
but definitely face to face because we've been over this before. Don't text negative shit.
Yep.
Don't
Yeah.
post negative shit.
Yeah.
It can be screen captured. Next thing you know, you're out of work. Your mom and pop place is shut down. Just do that shit face to face because then it's a he said she said.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Even if even first of all, just don't be a dick.
The only catch in all this, and I think it might only be a Massachusetts thing, but I think legally to fire someone, you have to present them with their last paycheck.
Yes,
At the
do.
time, so you technically have to do it in person.
Mhm.
But
I think it depends on who it is, too. I fired somebody over a text, but he didn't show up for 4 days.
right.
Yeah.
So he
you
finally
almost
answered
have
me
no
back, and
choice,
I'm like, dude, don't bother coming
well,
back.
and that's one
Right.
thing. It's
You
like
know,
if you can't
we'll
get a
mail
hold
you
of them,
your
then,
check,
yeah, at that point,
But there was actually, I fired 4 people at the same time one time.
group text.
Nope.
Did you call them into the room?
I had them all come in at the same time, and I gave them all their last pay. It was the coolest thing ever. I don't enjoy firing people, but they
Sounds
they
like
deserve
you
to
do.
be fired. Well, they had their
There
own
comes a
issues.
time when-
Yeah.
Be like, all right, I'm not saying you guys suck, but
They had their own issues, but yeah, it was my sous chef, his brother, his brother's girlfriend, and so they were all just they needed to go, you know. But yeah, no, we brought them in, and it was me and the owner and somebody else, and we had a chat, and okay, bye guys, you know. But we made them drive an hour to get there.
But, you know,
But they
said-
deserved it. You know?
Exactly. There's sometimes it's like, fuck that.
I actually
Exactly.
supervised one of my closest friends and had to like write her up multiple times.
That's the worst. Yeah, I
And-
had to fire a friend of mine.
you know, and it's rough, but like we were kind of like I said, if you know
Yeah,
if you're fucked up, so she was pretty cool about it, and I was lucky to have that. But
So if you hire your friends or say
we became friends
significant other-
at work.
Oh, okay. So,
Yeah.
say at that point, if you're bringing someone you know, you're like, listen, you're under more of a microscope than anyone else.
Right.
exactly. Yeah,
Set that bar ahead. But yeah, if you become friends at work, that's tough.
Yeah, so I mean, all in all, it worked out okay, but it can be really shitty.
Yep.
All right, this was Chris Riggs Graham. So I don't know if he got married and took his wife's last name. It's
2019.
Riggs Graham.
It'd be his
I'm
husband's
not-
last name,
That's
too, right?
very true.
Very
That's very
true,
true.
Andy.
See now
can't
the
discriminate,
asshole.
man.
Yep.
Yeah. Anyone else have that server that cries about not having enough money for rent, but always wants to get cut early?
Fucking yes.
I feel like Dan does.
Every restaurant.
Every restaurant.
Oh man.
I actually will give the place I work now. I give them tons of credit. I worked like a really slow weekend this past weekend. Like during the days, it's so nice out. Not a single one of them complained about wanting to go home or anything like that.
That's
but
what's up.
I've worked at many, many places where it's at like, oh, I don't have any money. Like, what do you want to work tonight? No.
Yeah.
I gotta sit home and watch the news. Or Friends reruns. So it's like
Friends reruns.
Friends rerun.
the people. That
Was this 92?
it's all on Netflix, man.
Oh, that's true.
I don't know for a fact if it is.
No,
on Netflix.
actually, it is.
It was a whole big thing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
See, I knew it for a reason. But yeah, any job you're gonna have like that, except for my current job.
Yeah, I'd have to agree. Like my current job, we don't have that, but every other place I think I've worked.
But you work in a pretty small place. So
we have
it's
like 9 employees.
I was gonna say,
yeah.
I feel like if anyone's getting cut early, it's like
It's definitely not me.
Yeah. No, but it's one of those like
Well, that's the thing. I
Yeah.
think the bigger
where
the
it's so
place, the
small,
more-
it's hard to kind of like put up
Exactly.
with
Yeah.
that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like my place is so cutthroat. Like if you're complaining and like that gets back to the owners, like you're not gonna have their shifts anymore. So it's like
yeah.
they
Usually
know
the-
not to.
I feel like the people that are complaining are the ones that are smoking a pack of cigarettes a day too, though.
Yeah, they're
You know,
smoke ripping
They're
butts
like,
every
I
10 minutes.
can't work, but I need to go get cigarettes.
I need a
I'm
cigarette
gonna go to the bar after work. You know, I don't have any money. That's usually how it goes.
Or I get that. You love. Oh, I don't get paid to do that. I'm like,
You
paid
get
to do whatever I tell you.
exactly.
Okay, this one comes from T. Smith. T-E-E.
Very anonymous.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
that's spelled out. Spelled out the letter T. T-E-E. Smith.
Okay.
I work at Fridays in New Orleans, and oh shit, I hope this doesn't get back to them. It may not be that. And we can only add gratuity to parties of 8 or more, which truly sucks. We get played a lot. I'm just curious on how other people's gratuities work.
I think that's pretty standard. I mean, a lot of places don't do it at all anymore. So
Yeah.
if you think that's fucking bad, you shouldn't be able to add gratuity to a party of 2. Like
No,
it comes with the job. It's rolling the dice.
I think, if you're looking for bigger tips, maybe TGI Fridays isn't the best place for you anyway.
Right.
I'm sure it's consistently busy, but if you're looking for a higher check average, which means more tips, you're going to want to go somewhere where it might be a little bit more expensive to eat.
Yeah.
But then it might not be as consistently busy.
Right.
But yeah, I think what you said, it's 8 or more, I think that's fine. But less than 8, you're kind of getting tipped on what you did as a job.
Right.
So maybe you're not doing the best job that you could do as a server.
Yeah, working for
reflect
tips
on
is
that.
like gambling.
Yeah.
And like you got to hope that you win more than you lose. But if
some
you,
people are just going to be assholes and not tip well.
exactly,
you
if
know?
you really
Oh, it
if you
happens.
can't deal with that,
Yeah.
then you shouldn't be working for tips. You should go get a job that has a base salary where you're getting a regular paycheck.
A little ass kiss and never hurt.
It's funny is I've noticed that I think me and Mike are a lot more negative, and Jordan's not here to brighten up all our answers.
Where's Jordan?
Jordan's like the bleeding heart. now.
Jordan was like, you kind
We're like, fuck you.
Yeah, get another job.
Jordan would be like, "No, if it's one guy, you can add a tip gratuity to that. He should have to pay you 35%
On a tip.
Spread the positivity, man.
We love you, Jordan.
We do. Say
Jessica Clausen. Has anyone else seen a guest wipe the side of their nose with a finger and swish it in their beer to reduce foam?
What?
What the fuck?
I've seen the forehead thing, but I mean, so I'm
Forehead?
Yes.
What?
I've never done this.
I've never heard of any of these.
yeah,
this
this
is
is all news to me.
Yeah.
And I've more seen it like a keg party than there's a lot of foam in the glass. Supposedly, like the salt from your sweat like brings the foam down on it. But
Oh, see, I've heard the salt
Yeah, I've
thing,
heard
but
salt.
that's...
Yeah, but
Yeah,
I'm not
that's-
usually using my sweat.
Are you just consistently that sweaty that you're good to go
I guess
all the
I
time?
don't know.
Like-
I don't know.
They said it's. I've never seen.
Yeah,
that.
kind of. Yeah,
I'm
I'll
not
agree
saying
with
no.
that.
Let's put this
I'm
in
not
perspective.
sweaty.
Let's
Yeah.
put this in perspective. That's less gross than if you wiped it on someone else's forehead or nose.
But still, you're wiping your snots and your beer. That
On
means
the side of your nose,
that-
not in your nose.
it wasn't in. Okay.
It's
Still, I mean,
Side.
I do feel like the nose is a little suspect.
Yeah.
I'm saying it's a gray area,
not
but
anything good in the nose.
I'm just
you know?
clarifying. It wasn't up the nose; it was the side of the nose.
Yeah,
It's like a Seinfeld episode. It wasn't a pick; it was a scratch.
yeah.
It's still gross though.
It's the
gross.
weirdest
I've
thing
never-
I think
It's
I've
your
ever seen.
beer, so
Yes.
Yeah,
if you want to bring it to the bathroom with you, whatever, dude. As long as you
Yeah,
pay
if you
for
wanna
it,
keep
you
refilling
know?
a cup, go
just
nuts.
pay for the beer and whatever. You know.
All right, that's pretty gross.
I've never heard of that.
I've never heard that either.
It's something I remember like being in high school and seeing people do that. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? And then the explanation, and then I said, all right, have fun.
It's like, check this out, dude.
I feel like all
Yeah.
your drinking decisions in high school are suspect.
Pretty, yeah.
Yeah. All right, Kristen Hall. Do any of my bartenders in this group save wine corks?
Do they say group or they say in this bitch?
It says group.
Okay, doing more fun.
What is dynamite bartenders in this bitch save wine corks?
That's way better.
Sorry, there we go. What are some fun, useful ways to repurpose them? So this is kind of an upcycling, trendy thing.
I actually have a pretty good one.
That. But you know what? I feel like... See, this is good, Mike.
So,
this is the first time we haven't agreed on something yet.
But see, this is the thing. This is where you get like the farm to table guy be like, no, we should totally upcycle the corks.
So it's like an Italian old wives' tale, but when you're cooking octopus, if you put corks in with the octopus, it's supposed to tenderize it. I think it's all bullshit.
But you still do it, don't you?
I don't do it. No,
right.
I have worked places where we did it, but I only did it because I was yelled at to do it. But now that I don't get yelled at, I don't put the corks in there. Damn it!
Yeah, I'm too lazy to save it. Like people
Well,
that
does
say
your
like
bar
bottle
save
caps
them?
to do stuff, and
Every artist I know saves
idea.
bottle caps and has a bottle cap collection somewhere. And you're like, what are you going to do with it? Like, I don't know, but I feel like I can do something with them.
that's it. I have people like, you save bottle. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna fucking throw them on the floor still.
You can go grab it.
Yeah.
It's all you.
Get the broom at the end of the night. You'll have so many.
All right. Kia Fowler. Opinions on people ordering food for pickup, then asking to eat it in the restaurant without paying for additional items.
Wait,
I've never heard of such a thing. So ordering takeout, but eating it in the restaurant.
And then not tipping because you already paid for your takeout.
I
It
think
didn't say anything about tipping. It just said eating in the restaurant without.
I feel like that's like a way to bypass not tipping though. So you
Yeah,
go.
but I've been to places where people tip on
that's
takeout
true.
anyways, which I'll be honest with you, I don't do.
So it depends on where I am. If it's a place that I go frequently, I'll tip a little bit, obviously. But I don't know. Yeah, if you're just getting takeout,
Yeah, because I mean, to me, I tip for the service. If
Yeah.
you're just putting in a bag,
I feel like it's a little weird though. But I mean, I don't know if you're supposed to go to your friend's house and then your friend cancels. Okay, you're just gonna sit by yourself and
Right.
eat maybe.
So I had two recent things like this. These two guys, we do a lot of like DoorDash, Grubhub stuff. And these guys ordered takeout, which is ridiculous that you order pickup from those because they charge you still. And they like, can we eat it here? But they bought beers, so they just took up a table, but they still bought stuff. So
Right.
I don't care at that. But then,
but I mean, they still bought. It's not like they didn't buy from that
yeah,
restaurant.
but I
Yeah.
think.
it's not like you brought
Yeah.
in Burger King and be like, "Hey, can I eat this here?"
But that's like saying though, if it all depends on how busy you are. Like
Yeah.
if you're not on a wait and you have fucking 15 open tables, who cares?
Yeah.
But I also we had someone like St. Patrick's Day weekend in South Boston. It's ridiculous. So
Really?
yeah, I heard
I had no idea.
the rumors were true. So we have
They should throw a parade.
right the day after, so we all survive. People ordered takeout just to get past the line. And then they thought they were tricky to sneak in, like, oh, we have food, we're going to sit here now. I'm like, no, you still got to get the fuck out or go back in the line.
Yeah.
So that's a trick to watch out for or not watch out for if you don't care. Or try it yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
I
sounds
would
like fun,
never
actually.
even think to do that.
Yeah,
Like,
just
I
wait
mean,
in
you know
line.
what? That was the first for me, and I was like, I respect that move, but you're still going to go
especially
back.
on like
bold.
St. Patty's
Very
Day. I
bold,
feel like
yeah.
I'd be drunk in line, being like, "All right, this is gonna be my time to sober."
The
up
fact
where
that
no
somebody
one's
tried
serving
to
me.
manipulate that on
Yeah.
St. Patty's Day, that's
Yeah.
pretty
Yeah,
impressive.
pretty ballsy.
I respected it.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
didn't.
It
I
was
mean,
like you.
Good work. Get
Yeah.
out.
I was like, one time I caught someone sneaking beers out of the bar, and like they had 6 pint glasses full of beers in their pockets, and like they almost got out the door, and I was like, you can't. I saw one in their hands.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, you can't. And then I looked, and they had them all. It was like a girl, like one of those trench coats. And I looked, I was like,
They were full.
full,
That's
and they were those
Was
like,
she walking really weird? I feel like, how do you not spill
she's
that?
running.
well, that's the thing. Like,
Just assume they're all drunk.
I saw that, so I took them all away from her, and I was like, listen, if this wasn't my bar, I respect this and give you a high five, but it is, so
Yeah.
get the fuck out.
That's awesome.
Wow.
So
I
same
don't
same
even
thing.
know how you walk with.
There's no way she was making it more than 3 steps out the door, and they weren't all spilling inside her pockets.
It's
Like,
crazy.
Should have just let it play out.
you know,
You know.
if my name wasn't on the liquor license, I
Yeah.
probably
Yeah.
probably would have.
You know what? I'm just gonna stand there and watch for a second.
Yeah.
And then I'm
Be
gonna
like,
stop
it's
her.
gonna spill everywhere. Is that really her drinking outside with our beer? Yeah. All right. This. Well, oh shit. Oh shit! I don't have a name on this one. This one's from
Make up a name.
Make up a really
Walter Cronkite.
Terrible.
Yeah,
So
could have been
bad.
better than that.
Could have gone way better than that.
Steve Flagshake.
Clearly, he's not one of the artists in his
All right.
other podcasts.
All
Yes,
right.
I guess not.
Go fuck you. What app do you all use for team-wide communication, posting schedules, requesting shifts, coverage, etc.? Do you guys use app type stuff?
I use Slack. So we actually use Slack at the Tasty, and it's like a group chat kind of.
Yeah, that's like a
And
general business one.
It's pretty sweet. Yeah. Like I had never heard of it, and then when I downloaded it, I'm like, this is actually very useful. You know, little things that there's, like I said, there's like 9 of us. So in the middle of the shift, you're like, hey, we need this. Like nobody's gonna remember that 3 hours later. But if you just real quick on the app, you know, Slack's definitely the way to go for me.
We just use email for we have like a big like for schedules. I'll go out in a big email.
Email.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Well,
Grandpa.
I mean, when I don't know. Like I said, yeah. I've worked
like
like
email, too.
I've
Why
worked
don't
like
you
a
use
big.
smoke signals, Dan?
I mean, I fucking do interpretive
I thought I
dance
was a smoke
myself.
signal guy.
But when I worked at like a bigger chain, we used some website where you like that's how you did. You got your schedule, you requested time off, did all that stuff. So, but yeah, I haven't done that in a long time.
I can tell you what app we use here at the Beer Cellar.
It's
Tinder.
Facebook.
When, no, it's what, Tinder? What is that? It's called When I Work, and you can put in your availability, and they can.
You said
schedule
Siri, when do I work?
Actually, it's nice because it sends you reminders, being like, "Hey, you're working today,"
I like it.
which I kind
That would be great
I
for
think it's
me,
pretty
yeah.
nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
What
said
day
you work
is it?
all the time.
What day is it?
Yeah.
I don't even know what day it is. Yeah.
Back to bed.
This one's Merlene Lowe. Tell me something you love about your job. Let's send some good vibrations into the universe.
I'll let you go first.
So one of my favorite things about cooking is just being able to like brighten somebody's day. You know, so say somebody's having a really bad day, they come in, they really enjoy the food or whatever. The fact that you could have like a positive influence on their day or on their mood at all, that's pretty cool to me. And also, you get to be part of people's big days as far as weddings, catering, stuff like that. So things like weddings, or even as sad to say, bereavements. It's definitely a big part of somebody's life, and if you're able to be a part of that one moment in their life, that's pretty cool. Positive stuff, man.
Yeah,
positive
positive.
stuff.
Yep.
Yeah.
I've always being in the bar industry. I always like the social aspect of it. So even if it's not being behind the bar, you're still just out in the people. You're kind of helping people have a good time. So I like to be the party enabler. So I always enjoyed that part. I think the creativity part of it's fun, like cocktails, finding new drafts, all that stuff. So even just as little as making a playlist for the night, like you can really affect someone's whole day. If you put on a night full of shitty music, they're probably gonna leave.
So true.
Yeah. So
true.
Well, I'm going to tell you my favorite Mike Wisdom story because I'm weirdly like peripheral to the industry, so I don't have like a good answer for this. But I'm going to tell you my favorite Mike Wisdom story.
Chicken parm.
It has nothing to do with chicken parm. And so my friend Kristen, it's her birthday, and her fiance is a gigging musician. And she's like, oh, blah, blah, do you want to go out? And I'm like, yeah. I'm like, me and Fish will go out and hang out for your birthday. So we meet at the Tasty. Fish isn't there yet. So it's me and this very attractive blonde girl sitting at the bar.
I was surprised, yeah.
Go fuck yourself.
So Wisdom sees me and he like waves through the window and he comes. I was like, "Hey man, what's going on? Blah blah. I love the podcast. Been listening. Can't wait to be back on. Do you like red snapper?" I'm like, "What?" He's like, "Ceviche. I'm gonna make you some ceviche. I'll come back, bring you some ceviche." I'm like, "Cool." Little did I know he goes back to tell someone else to make it.
Yep. That's my
And
job.
it's called delegation.
Yeah. Comes back. I was like, "Here you go. That's on me." Blah blah. And heads back in the kitchen. And I turn to my friend Kristen. I'm like, if this was a date, that totally would work. She's like, you so would have gotten laid.
And that's what I thought was happening.
So I text him later. I'm like, hey, man, I
it.
appreciate that, but
So
it was
Mike's
just a
good
friend.
wingman for you. Yeah.
Like,
So,
yeah. Okay.
If you're in tight with Mike, he will look out for you.
I saw Fish walk in. I'm like, shit's gonna get weird. Like, all right.
What kind of podcast these guys making today?
Eiffel Tower, man. That's my favorite Mike Wisdom story.
Boom.
All right. So this one's from Amber Thompson. Any tips or tricks on taking the Serve Safe Manager's exam? I don't know what that is.
I don't know the tips.
Study.
Fucking pay
Just
attention in the
study.
class. It's
like a 4-hour class.
yeah, it's long, but it's not hard.
No.
No.
I got a 95 on it. And I worked at a place that didn't even
Jesus,
serve fucking
this guy's
food.
See, he's one up
Yeah.
me. I got a 92. But the first time I took it, I got a 96.
Let's see, a 92. So let's go back on that.
I thought I failed it, to be fair.
Dude, it's all like a lot of
what
it
type
is
of,
just
like,
common sense.
Is it just like, wash your hands and...
No,
Just
well,
that's
yes and
part
no.
of it, yeah.
But some of it you have to know the names of the different diseases that could cause food poisoning.
Okay.
So there's like shigellosis, Clostridium infringens, I'm just like listing stuff, but I couldn't tell you what that actually pertains to.
You could make that up. See, this all goes back to the confidence thing.
Exactly.
You could have just said it, and I'd be
Yeah.
like, "Holy shit, Mike knows things."
I'm a scientist too, as
Yeah.
well as a doctor, so-
And a farmer.
and a farmer.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Jack
pretty much
of all trades.
And a
just
brewer.
gonna say that. I'm a brewer.
Yeah.
Yeah. No big deal.
All right. So study.
Yeah, just pay attention.
That's the time when Jordan would be like, well,
Well, and Carl would be like, "That's a dumb fucking question."
get out, I don't get it.
That's funny.
All right. Sarah Ho. Hogue, not
Okay.
like Sarah's a hoe, like Sarah Ho.
Listen, I only thought that because you just said that.
Yeah.
I was just,
I'm
keep
more
this
concerned that I
professional.
pronounced it wrong, so I wanted to clarify.
Okay.
Be honest. Do
Nah.
you flirt on the job? Does it improve your tips? I feel like you guys are the
This is
wrong
for you,
people
Dan.
to
this
ask.
is for you, Dan.
I mean, now I don't have to because I'm not behind a bar, but yeah, you have to
Yeah.
keep it. Even if it's not flirting, you have to be like overly friendly. Like
Yeah.
good bartenders. I mean, I've worked with some awesome bartenders that are fucking assholes,
Oh yeah.
but people love it. Like I worked with this lady.
Well, that's like Carl's charm.
Yeah,
Like, everybody
but there's
loves
a
Carl, but
Carl's not
doesn't know
behind the
why.
bar for that long.
Where's Carl right now, though? Yeah.
That's my fault.
Hashtag where's Carl?
It has to be
Hashtag
my
where's
fault.
Carl? Feels,
I did try to tell Andy. I'm like, hey
Yeah.
man, he's not on this text. And
No,
argue with
no,
me.
it was my fault.
Oh, so bad.
Yeah.
And then when he told you about it, he put it in the message in the.
I sent it to the
Text thread
other
that
text
I
thread.
was in.
Yeah, I noticed that.
I
He
sent
put-
it to the other text thread that I
He
thought
invited
he was
Jordan
in.
5 times, but not Carl once.
Yeah.
But
And then when he
It speaks
corrected
volumes,
yeah,
Andy.
yeah.
Love you, Carl.
So
Sorry,
yes,
man.
you should flirt for money.
Yeah. You know.
Be careful, and
Be very careful.
Unfortunately, another reason, fallback that Jordan's not here is he has a story about how he was propositioned by customers to join.
Oh, we've heard that. That's been on a past
yeah,
episode. I
there's a
think.
past-
To join what?
a
a
little
couple
menage a
propositions,
trois.
little
They left
orgy action,
left a
okay.
hotel
Well,
key for him.
let
and
me
stuff.
ask you this: since it's 2019, would you flirt with a guy customer for better tip?
Listen, man, anyone's money's good.
It's true. Money's green, dude. Go for it.
How very woke of you.
Yep,
I love it.
AF.
I'm a trendsetter,
Trendsetter.
capitalist. Is that right?
I don't know.
Sounds
Sure.
good though, right?
Yeah.
I was confident when I said it.
I went to a tech school. You know?
Casey McDonald, worst thing you ever found in a guest food?
Oh man.
And do you think the guest put it in the food on purpose or a kitchen mess up? Hers, a cockroach. Yes, I'm being 100% honest. It was legit sautéed in butter on some fresh veggies. That definitely came
So
from the
the
kitchen.
cook didn't realize or didn't give a shit. is
One of
what
those
I'm
two
saying.
things. But
Someone with a vendetta right
have
there.
you ever found someone slipping something into...
Yeah, I actually had a lady who found a tooth in her salad, and
It was fucking.
it
hers.
was her. Yeah, so half of her tooth came off in her salad, and then she complained to us about her tooth being in her salad.
Did you know it was her too?
I don't think she did, but you could. It was literally next to her front tooth.
Yeah.
Like half of it was gone, and this part, and we were just kind of like, well,
it's from right
you
there,
know.
yeah.
And she wanted a refund, so we made her a new salad, whatever. But another good story. I actually had a girlfriend. Her sister-in-law used to bring hair to restaurants with her in a bag. I went out to dinner with them one time. Now I've
So
cooked.
not
I've been
cool.
cooking like
Yeah.
half my life, so
Yeah.
I'm cooking in kitchens. And she puts a big hair on her plate, and she's like, "Watch this." And I'm like, "Are you fucking kidding me? Like I
out
don't
of
even
here.
want to be sitting here,
Yeah.
you know." But you guys drove. I'm a little drunk. I'll wait.
I'll be in the car.
So
Uber hasn't been invented yet, so
yeah.
I'll wait.
She complained about the hair on top of her well-done butterflied fillet, which, you know, if you're ordering a well-done fillet, you suck anyway.
Yeah.
But, yeah, no, people would do whatever they can to get free things.
Yeah.
That's the point of the story, you know?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think the only thing I've ever had people find is like a hair or something like that, and at that point, it's not worth fighting them over it.
Yeah, exactly.
It's you're in a lose. Be in the restaurant, you're in a lose situation because you could call them out for it, and then it could be a big deal. You just say fucking whatever.
Right.
At the end of the day, they need to be happy.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if what you think, you know. It matters if they're happy and they're going to come back, and the whole hospitality thing and blah,
Yeah.
blah, blah, you know.
Well, let's jump in the Wayback Machine and go back to when Andy was a little kid. My mother, we were at Friendly's, and this is when Friendly's did like grilled cheese and hot dogs.
They
not,
still do?
not like, but yeah, but now they do like sliders and
Grilled cheese hot dog slider.
yeah. My mother had taken her checkbook out of her purse, and there was like a rubber band around it. And you know how like you slide a rubber band off something?
Yeah.
The rubber band just took off.
Oh, God.
I didn't even notice. And next thing I know, my mother and my sister are fucking dying laughing. And I'm like, what's so funny? The woman behind us is like, waitress, there's a rubber band in my salad. And the waitress is like, I don't know how that happened.
So she got a new salad.
She got a new salad and she got caught, but it's not always the restaurant's fault either.
Happen, yeah.
Weird
That's
shit
life,
happens.
man. Yeah, exactly.
So it was very funny. And, there's 3 people in the booth behind him, like, laughing fucking hysterically. Should have been a giveaway. Mike Garul, managers, GMs, owners. Is there a better website than Webstaurant? Do you know what fucking Webstaurant is?
I don't know what restaurant is.
Yeah, Webstaurant's kind of like Amazon for restaurants, I guess.
Okay.
So I would say a better website would be Amazon if you are okay with supporting them. A lot of people aren't.
So
But,
is it like for supplies or like?
Yeah, you can
food?
go on there and buy, a steam table or like covers to pans or ladles or whatever.
Webstaurant, not a sponsor.
Yeah, not a sponsor.
Yeah.
Soon enough.
All right.
Soon enough. Maybe for the
So
Chicken Parm podcast.
if they want to give us some money, that's
that can change easily.
Yeah.
Webstaurant.com.
Yep.
Okay.
Well, don't plug them now. Wait till they're fucking paying us.
Bar
Gee,
talk.
you suck at this.
Fish,
That's
just
it.
take that
That's
out.
it.
Fish, just take that out. I'm sorry.
Can we just bleep that?
I'm never coming back. I'm never coming back.
You're coming back.
We've
tomorrow.
had worse.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah.
Jennifer.
Yeah, we can't fire him. It was his idea.
Jennifer Hershey. Just out of curiosity, do y'all start closing down your bar while you still have bar guests if it's close to closing time, or do you wait till everybody leaves? I can answer that by every bar I've ever been at.
Yeah.
See, there's
Depends
things
on the
you can
place.
do.
And it depends on the people.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you should not be saran wrapping your taps or however you do, like close. If I want another drink, it shouldn't take you 10 minutes to put it back together or something like that to get. But like you can do behind the stuff, like wipe down bottles, start cleaning, but you shouldn't close the bar.
Cleaning out the wells.
Yeah, you should still be operational. That's
Yeah.
the biggest thing. Like that's, and it shouldn't you shouldn't make the customer feel like an asshole for as much as you want them to feel like an asshole.
Yeah, that's also your job.
But that's you signed up for this, so suck it.
I think it depends on if you called last call, though.
Yes,
I think if you called last call,
Last call,
I think
everything's
then-
fair game.
Yeah, last call.
Yeah.
Listen, like you guys can hang out, but I'm cleaning.
Yeah.
But if you close at midnight and you can't start doing that at like 11 o'clock.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, you might get like 50 people walking the door at
I've seen it
11:30. I've had it happen to me before.
And then that person's pissed, and it's like, dude, you cleaned up early. That's your fault.
Yeah.
You know.
we all clean up too early once in a while, and then
Trust
learn the
me.
hard way. You got to
I've-
re-clean everything.
I've done that my brief time in the kitchen where you're like, oh, it's fucking dead, and you clean up, and next thing you know, you're like, oh, fuck me. All right.
And then you clean twice.
Yeah.
I say the kitchen has it the worst because you could have that person walk in at 10:50 and you already have the grill clean, and you're like, fuck.
Yep.
But,
That's why you gotta
but I'm
wait.
also going to
It
say
really is. It's the worst thing. You can't, and you feel bad.
It is what it is.
And it's
Yep.
always the same thing. You got to know your audience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
exactly.
I go to places that know me very well. At the end of the night, they're like, "Why are you fucking sitting there? Go around the bar and put up the bar stools." And I'm like, "Oh, okay."
Sorry. Yeah.
You know, it's like if you like, I know enough people in the industry where they're just like, "Well, don't just sit there, fucking help." And I'm like,
Yeah.
"Oh, right, okay."
Yeah.
If you're lucky enough to be let in at that time of night, pitch your hand in.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Or just offer. You don't even have to do it.
Yeah, and you know what?
So a lot of times we won't
Yeah.
make you, but
When
we're
you-
thankful that you offer.
Yeah, you know. Ray, Moltenberry,
Done.
Moltenberry,
Him and
Lava Strawberry.
Lava strawberry.
That's a way better last name. Lava Strawberry. I think
that
I'm gonna see
Seagull-
if I can get the
Seagull
farmers
Steam.
to grow those.
Yeah.
Advice
right.
on how to professionally, yet with witty undertone, reply to an older person saying, "Well, the older person says, "Well, you didn't ID me." So how do you professionally yet wittingly be like, "Yeah, I didn't ID you because you're fucking old"?
Tell them they have a trustworthy face.
Yeah. You know, I don't really know how to answer that one.
Smile and laugh and walk away.
Laugh and just walk away.
The old people, they think they're being funny, but they're just being an asshole. Because now I'm like, oh, well, do you want me to see your ID? Like, and we've all been there.
Yeah.
So,
See, I was like when you're the guy that gets ID'd and everyone else doesn't. That's always fun.
That's me.
Yeah. So, no shit, really.
Yeah.
I got ID'd for lighters. I'm like, hey, I just need, can I see your ID? I'm like, but
You get
31 years old.
You get
like,
ID'd for eggs on Halloween, don't you?
Damn it, yeah. I told you.
Your
got
face.
ID to go see the Avengers.
It's not a bad thing. It's not a
Yeah.
bad thing.
Those people, you're going to enjoy that.
Exactly. Exactly. I'm going to be that guy.
Yep. You didn't check mine.
No, I'm not. I'm going to be
No.
the opposite of that guy.
Steven Bazarian, if you get a guest who sends food back because they said it's overcooked or anything, does your boss let you eat it?
What?
So if someone sends food back because...
You?
Yeah, thank
Yeah,
you,
they-
Fish.
yeah.
You?
Like for the 6 months, 15 years ago, I worked in the kitchen. You? No.
If it's already at somebody's table and you don't
It's-
know that person,
Yeah, they already they
That's-
know it's overcooked for a reason.
yeah.
So
yeah,
like,
it
and
left,
it's overcooked.
it
Yeah.
left your line of sight. I don't want to
No.
see that back.
What if they're wiping their nose and putting it in their beer?
Yeah.
What if they're that kind of person? You, know?
tooth is in it? Like,
You never know. You don't want to eat somebody else's
Yeah.
tooth.
So I can have a nose
my
beer
own.
and a toothy salad?
Yeah,
All
if
right.
it's your
Yeah.
tooth. You know? If it's somebody else's tooth, that's gross.
yep. I don't care how much calcium's
Someone
in there.
else's tooth. That's gross. No, some of the questions just like you never know what the answers are going to be.
Yeah, yes, we.
Nina Shappert.
That's gonna be Mike's boss.
It probably is. She's just
Like, why aren't you at work right now?
clothes. Like,
What's going on with Taco Wednesday? No. Anyone else straw dip customers' weird drink request? Had someone order Bacardi, pineapple, and diet. So of course I had to taste like. So of course I had to taste it like coconuts.
That's
So if someone orders something weird, do you straw taste it?
you do like the straws. Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, why not?
You got to know. You want to know if you made it right.
Yeah, and what if they want to come back and get the same drink?
Exactly.
Yeah,
And I feel like
I mean,
feel
I would
like
not taste the fucking Bacardi,
That sounds
pineapple,
gross.
and Coke.
that sounds
thing.
really
does
nasty.
not sound good.
No, but I feel like you'd also like make maybe purposefully make a little extra, and not straw taste out
depends,
of their
yeah,
drink.
Exactly.
You know,
Yeah.
it's
Well,
a
no,
taste out
you,
of the
you
shaker.
do
Yeah, I
straw
mean, if
dip.
you're
It's not like
dipping
you take a
straw-
sip
you're not
from the
like
straw.
sipping.
Oh, I
Yeah.
understand what the fucking is.
I would just
Fish.
take their drink and chug it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, just grab 'em by the collar. And
I just
sip it
feel
in
like
front
it's
of 'em,
more
like-
polite to taste out of the taster than someone else's glass.
Well, you don't do it in front of them.
Yeah, well, that's true.
Yeah.
I always sit at the bar, so everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of.
The weirdest thing is like when someone orders something weird, like you should try it. I'm like, nah, I don't want to try your drink.
Yeah. I already know what I like to drink.
Yeah,
and
it's
your
like,
shit's kind
they're
of
like
weird.
give it.
Well, what
they
if some,
hand the
like-
glass over to you and
All
stuff.
right,
like
so is there like one drink that you've had across the bar where you're like, "Ooh, that sounds fucking horrible"?
there's probably way more than one. I
Yeah.
can't think of what they are
Yeah.
because I've never drank them again. But there's definitely there's shots and stuff out there that people, and it's always a shot. They're like, you should try it. I'm like, no, I don't give a fuck about the drink you just made up in your head.
When we first started hanging around Plymouth, we got to know the bartenders really good. We used to hang out on Fridays. It was a fun place to hang out. So we used to use
Every day's like Friday. Yeah, I get it.
well, there's
I used to go there after
There was a
work,
cool
actually.
group, yeah.
Yeah,
So
it
it
was
used to be
Surprised I
great,
didn't
yeah.
see you there.
We
Maybe I did.
Probably did.
Maybe I
Yeah.
did.
So we used to use like the bartender apps to find like the most obscene fucking shots that we could order. And we're like, "Hey, Christine, do you have sweet tits?" But we're adolescents. So.
Yeah.
Oh, it's my college bar used to go to the bartender had on his books, and that's like our Thursday routine. He would go in like, all right, let's pick a drink to make today.
There's one I don't remember what was in it, but it's called "Sit on My Face." It was delicious.
Sounds awesome.
It was
yeah,
delicious.
It's
Perfect.
Kahlua, Frangelico, and I think Bailey's layered.
Yeah,
Can't
it
wait to
was-
order that.
was
It
really
is
good.
delicious,
Yeah.
and it's the best thing to ask a bartender for. Because
Two sit on my faces.
So
little slap and tickle.
So I think we're gonna call that last call.
Well, all right.
Now that we got to obscene shots, so we're gonna go around the mics. People can plug whatever they want, talk about whatever. This is their time to shine.
Wait, am I going to
So we're gonna go to Mike Wisdom first because he's all like, "What am I gonna
man,
do?"
look, he just did
Yeah,
you dirty
pressure.
like that.
Why do I have to go first? Last time I talked about the taco pop-up. Fish, when is this going up?
This is going up even after that.
Yeah,
that
so,
episode.
go, shoot for like
So
until,
like, so
June,
June.
call it
June or
June
late.
June, like so. Where can,
20th, June 20th.
So by then, I should have had a dinner set up with Indie Firm and the Tasty. So hopefully everybody buys tickets. It's gonna be
Where
a
can
good
they
time.
go to find out that information?
We don't have it set up yet. You're putting a lot of pressure on
No,
me,
but like where in general?
thetasty.com,
See, there you go. See, was that fucking
It's
hard?
pretty hard.
You guys do a lot on
It's a
Facebook too, right?
website.
Yeah, we do a lot of
Yeah.
Facebook. It should be on Eventbrite. I'm just trying to get there. I'm trying to see when this actually airs. But hopefully before that,
I love
everybody
having
will be
Wisdom on.
at the taco pop-up at Second Wind.
Listen, Mike, just there. He makes the food. He's not. It's your job to come find out when it is.
Exactly.
So,
Yeah, just
You
come
know?
find me. I'll be the guy.
That
in,
banana
the
thing
cut-off
looks-
jorts.
That
so.
that banana thing that you posted the other day looked pretty fucking tasty.
Nobody ordered it, dude.
Really?
One person ordered.
Oh, it
it.
looked really good.
Nobody
What
wanted
the hell
chia.
was it?
It's chia pudding.
Yeah.
So you soak chia seeds in coconut milk,
Yeah.
and it's kind of like a tapioca pudding, but it's healthier for you. It's got proteins and omega-3s and all kinds of. It's a good start to the day.
You should just follow the Tasty because their food looks.
yeah.
I follow them on all my
Because
phone
I'm
social
always
media.
on
I'm like,
Facebook.
hey,
Yeah.
looks like I got to go there today.
Yeah, and it comes up and you're like, oh,
It's so
God,
it's
damn,
even
that
worse
looks
when I'm at
fucking
work.
great.
I'm like, fuck.
Damn it. But yeah, cool. That's my plug, I guess.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's follow the Tasty and,
And me and the Tasty.
underscore Mike Wisdom
Yes,
on
sir.
Instagram. See what's cooking. You'll find out information there.
Cool. Thanks for having
I'm
me, guys.
helping you out, man.
Thank you.
All right.
Bart
Mahoney,
You want me to
last
go
call.
next? All
Let's
right.
go.
This last call, we're going to give it a shout out to Jordan and Carl because we're going to start our new hashtag of hashtag Where's Jordan and Carl because I know Carl has been missing for like 2
We could
months
make a
now.
flat Jordan.
A
I
flat
appreciate
Jordan.
the new
We could bring
opportunity.
both of them around and
Yeah.
just like
It's either just look for the new logo where it's just me and Mike Wisdom's face on the Bar Talk logo.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah.
And he's not even going to be on it anymore.
he
Wait,
never-
what?
Me?
yeah.
I only sit in. Like I'm just sitting in. It's not my show.
He's there because I don't remember the importance,
I
like
like it.
the
I
where
like
to reach us stuff. So
it
yeah,
was my
hashtag-
fault. I forgot to fucking text Carl.
Everything's
I
your fault,
thought he
man.
was. Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, it's okay.
Well, hashtag Where's Jordan and Carl. So
All right. Hashtag Where's Jordan and Carl. So I want to thank Mike Wisdom for sitting in.
Thank you.
Thanks Dan Mahoney for being the only real host to show up.
no worries.
I mean, I told Carl like 12 hours ago. I don't know why he's not here. Nope. Check out Inebriart. Check out Bar Talk, Old Colony Cast, all our websites, podcasts. They're called podcasts.
webcasts.
Sorry, he's never done this before.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can tell.
Yeah.
So you can email us at bartalkcast@gmail.com with your questions, complaints, arguments, hate mail.
All complaints go to Carl Heine. So
Yep. Yeah. And tell us your weird stories.
not too weird. Well, you can send them to Andy. He likes that shit.
He likes the real weird.
The weirder the better for him. But
Listen.
that goes to his personal email. You can find him.
I'm not even.
I'm not even going to touch that.
Great ending on a high note. Guys, you know?
You can find us on Facebook at Bar Talk Cast. You can find us on Instagram at Bar Talk Cast and Twitter as well. You can listen to all our podcasts on Stitcher, iTunes, Google Play, pretty much anywhere you can find podcasts. If you can't find them, tell us. We'll get there somehow. And thanks to the Craft Beer Cellar for letting us record. If you're in Plymouth, stop by the Craft Beer Cellar to buy beer. Maybe I'll be working there because that's what I do.
If Andy's working there, just throw chicken parm at him.
Wait, why is it throwing chicken parm at me?
You get it
deliver
quicker.
it.
You get it quicker.
I like
It's all bullshit. Go back to I don't know what episode to find out what's going on with chicken parm.
I don't even know anymore.
fucking
I honestly think
remember.
we dropped
I got
out chicken
nothing.
parm references
Yeah.
in this
Yeah.
episode, so it worked. So.
I'm gonna go order chicken parm right now,
I really
and
want chicken parm, man.
and thanks for listening to this nonsense. Okay, thanks for checking out the podcast. And don't forget to check out our other podcasts on the Inebriart Podcast Network. There's the Bar Talk. There's Old Colony Cast. There's, of course, the Inebriart Podcast. And our latest, Retro Redoctopus, a kind of nerd genre podcast that you can check out now, all available on our website at inebri-art.com. And pretty much available everywhere that podcasts are available, on Stitcher, iTunes, Google Play, Apple Podcasts, all those things. And if you don't see it where you're looking, let us know. We'll try to get onto that as well. And you can also email us at inebriart@yahoo.com with your questions, complaints, and suggestions. And also, if you could take the time to rate and review us on iTunes, that would be phenomenal. That helps us get more exposure and bring more of these great podcasts to your ears. And thanks again for listening.